Hey mama, I'm Trish, and I need to tell you something that might tick off some people in the birth world. Birth doesn't have to be terrifying. It just needs to stop being a stinking mystery. After 16 years as a labor and delivery nurse, catching over 1,000 babies and birthing 6 of my own, I got fed up watching scared, unprepared moms walk into delivery rooms. So I created the birth education I wish every mama had. Real talk from someone who's been on both sides of that delivery room door. Right now, I'm giving you everything: my 3 signature birth courses, monthly support calls, my brand new birth pod class, and 30 days free in our Mama membership. Plus, I'm shipping you my labor birth comb absolutely free. This little tool is a game changer for natural pain relief during contractions. That's over $4,300 worth of birth education, plus a physical tool delivered to your door. Your body was made for this, mama, but you need to know your options. Get the Calm Birth Bundle at labornursemama.com/calm, C-A-L-M, because confident mamas have better births. You get a 14-day money-back guarantee, lifetime access, and it's available right now inside our app. Stop letting birth be a mystery. Get educated, get empowered, get the bundle, and get your birth comb free. There's one thing almost every new mom misses in week 1 to 2, and it changes recovery and breastfeeding more than anything else. Hey mama, welcome to Postpartum Unpacked, the realest place on the internet to talk about life after baby. I'm Trish, labor nurse mama, mom of 7, and now that we've walked through pregnancy together, it's time to unpack the wild, beautiful, emotional roller coaster of postpartum. From birth, recovery to year 1 and everything in between. We're talking healing, hormones, feeding, sleep, sex, mental health, mom rage. Nothing is off limits. I'm going to be interviewing some of my Calm Mama Society members, and we're going to talk about real situations. So hit follow, leave a review, and let me know what you want to hear more of. I'll be here each week with you, each week, cheering you on through it all. Let's do it together. Hey mama, welcome to Postpartum Unpacked. If you listened or watched Pregnancy Unpacked, you know we're keeping it real. That's how we roll around here. I am a 16-year labor and delivery nurse and a mom who has helped thousands through these first 2 weeks. In fact, inside of our birth courses and membership, we have had over 15,000 students. So today I'm going to talk to you about what's normal, what's urgent, and the single practical move that cuts through so much pain and cuts the panic in half. So stick with me because weeks 0 to 2 is the wildest part. Raw, tender, messy. Your emotions, your booty, your vagina, all of it. So stick with me. I'm going to explain also day 2 behavior, which will help you get through the second night syndrome. And we're going to talk about a little bit about breastfeeding tactics. And we're going to talk about 3 red flags to know when you need to call your provider. And number 2 surprises most moms, and the exact phrases that your partners can use to actually help. Ready? Are you guys ready? So let's unpack week 0 to 2. First, your body just did the hardest workout of your life. So we're going to talk about your lochia. And that is actually just a fancy word for postpartum bleeding. You should expect heavy bleeding at first, like a super duper period that gradually changes from bright red to pink to brown to yellow or white over the days and weeks to come. That color progression is very normal. What's not normal is a really foul smell, or having very large clots, or soaking a pad in under an hour. If any of those happen, please call your provider right now. If you had a vaginal birth, you may feel bruised, swollen, and you may feel sore. If you have tears or stitches, they might sting when you go pee. They might even, hurt when you're sitting. So some immediate helpers are ice packs for the first 24 hours. Do your witch hazel pads, do your padsicles. Sitz baths are so freaking comfortable. And also little short walks to boost circulation to get that healing flow going. One of the pro tips that I recommend is to sit on a donut pillow or a folded towel for the first few weeks. That tiny change can bring so much comfort. Now, if you had a C-section, remember you just had a major abdominal surgery. So expect incision pain, soreness, slower movements, and some pain when you cough or laugh. Use a pillow as a splint. Hold it over your incision when you move or you cough. And gentle walking several times a day reduces the chance of clots and it speeds up your healing. However, do not rush yourself. Listen to your body. Remember, again, I'm going to say it out loud for those of you in the back. You just had a major abdominal surgery. So listen to your precious body. Okay, we're going to talk about the devil. You ready? We're going to talk about the devil, hemorrhoids. Now, I got so much flack over there on Instagram with my 400,000 followers because I said, in my opinion, everybody's scared of tearing, but you should be scared of the devil, which is hemorrhoids. And then I got like all this fear mongering. But the truth is, hemorrhoids, I was about to say suck, ASS. They do, but hemorrhoids are horrible, but they're super common, especially after pushing a baby out of your vagina. Your booty is sore. And if you have hemorrhoids, you're even more sore. My top recommendations for these little devils is increase your hydration. You have to increase your hydration. Add some liquid IV to your water. Make sure you are hydrating yourself, not just for your booty, and the booty grapes is what we call them, but also for breastfeeding and for healing. So increased hydration is your number one power tool. Okay. The next thing, increase your fiber. And it makes you feel like contrary, but trust me, increase the fiber. Like eat some bars that have fiber in them, eat some cereal with fiber. Make sure you're doing this. You also want to take stool softeners. They're going to give you Colace in the hospital. You can get this before baby comes. Girl, just put it on the list and get it before baby comes because booty grapes suck. Witch hazel pads, keep them in the fridge or the freezer. You can fold them and put them right up onto the booty and it will help because it is so uncomfortable. Sitz bath again. Sitz baths are heaven. Not only are they heaven, but you actually get to have some alone time. So use your sitz bath to be your alone girl time. Okay. So I'm just giving y'all the truth. Hemorrhoids suck. They're awful. Now, again, hydration is underrated. It really helps stool consistency and healing, and little steps like consistent water and hydration and a fiber-rich snack matter so much more than you think. So have yourself a little kit, have your stool softeners, have your water cup, have your bathroom kit. Okay, coming up, the one nighttime trick that calms cluster feeding and why day 2 can feel way harder than day 1. And I'm also going to give you some words to use with your nurse that actually gets help fast. Okay, so I am not a breastfeeding expert. However, I have breastfed the majority of my life because I have 7 kids. One was adopted, did not breastfeed her. But this girl right here pretty much breastfed the entire 90s. I was telling someone the other day, the only year that we didn't buy diapers was in 1993. That's a lot of diapers. I breastfed most of the 90s, the 2000s, and I breastfed Grayson for 3 years, my last baby. So I've been there. I know some tricks. Now, this is nurse tricks, mama tricks, not lactation specialists. So we're going to talk next about your tiny human. Day 1. Your sweet little butterball will probably seem very quiet and sleepy a lot on day 1. But here's what happens on day 2. You get discharged from the hospital, baby sleepy, and then evening comes around. And this is the day 2 syndrome, which turns into like an exorcist moment. And your sweet little quiet bundle of joy starts screaming and freaking out. They're wanting to cluster feed. They're fussy. They're clingy. This is normal biology. This is normal. You are not doing anything wrong, and your baby is not doing anything wrong. They are just really waking up and signaling you to bring in more milk. You're not broken, and neither is your baby. This is how your supply gets established. So I don't want you to think this is not normal, that you're failing, like the baby was so good in the hospital with the nurses and now it's just us and we suck. That is not true. So expect about 8 to 12 feeds in that 24 hours. And remember this. So with my coaching, I say that data is decisions and decisions are dollars. Well, in this case, diapers are data. By day 4 to 5, you should see 6 or more wet diapers and regular dirty diapers. Now, I want to tell you that with a breastfed baby, they can go days without having a poo. That is pretty normal as well. So just keep that in mind. If you're not seeing wet diapers, you need to reach out to your provider or a lactation support person, probably both. Don't wait. Wet diapers are an indication that this baby is doing good. And the stools is the baby is getting enough. However, again, it gets tricky when you have a breastfed baby. Now, I prefer to feed on cue. And what that means is they're rooting, they're smacking their lips, they're bringing their hands to their mouth. Don't wait for a full cry. Once they get into a full cry, it's really hard on both of you. Now, some survival mode tips. Nap when your baby naps. And I know everybody says that, but just please, just snuggle. We go by the 555 rule, and we have a guide that we will give you in the show notes, our 555 guide. That means 5 days in the bed, 5 days on the bed, and 5 days near the bed. And this is so important because you're learning each other. And these feeds are regulating baby's temperature and increasing the speed of your bonding. And those early cluster sessions don't last forever. They're just how you and your baby are finding one another. And so I want you to flip the script on what you're telling yourself about that. Okay, now when it comes to breastfeeding troubleshooting, just skip labor nurse mama, go straight to an IBCLC, go straight to an expert. I highly recommend having a virtual expert on hand, and I will link to some in the show notes. I have a couple of my clients who are IBCLCs who do virtual visits and take insurance. So if you are a twin mom, I'm going to say exactly who to go for a twin mom, and then I'll give you some choices for singletons, which is one baby. Okay, breastfeeding is natural, but it's not always easy. And what you see on TV, they've edited out the nurse crying, everybody's back hurting, nipples sore. Painful latches, engorgement, cracked nipples are common, but it doesn't have to be your story. And the difference between quitting and persisting is early support. Lactation consultants, prenatal breastfeeding classes, and I'm going to link to a lot in the show notes. So keep this one, copy it, go to the blog and save this one. So a painless latch checklist from a labor nurse, not a lactation expert, is your baby's chin should touch the breast. Their nose should be free to breathe and their mouth wide open. And their body is tummy to tummy with you. I love laid back breastfeeding. I believe we have an article or a video on that. But if your breastfeeding is hurting, break the suction by sliding a clean finger into the corner of the mouth to gently release and then relatch. Don't stay in a bad latch. That simple move can stop the pain and prevent your nipple from getting damaged, which none of us want. Now, if you have engorgement, which can be common when the milk comes in, I mean, you're going to be like Dolly Parton City lady when that milk comes in. So for engorgement, do a warm compress before feeds to help the let down. And you can even get in the shower and let some of that, milk come out. And you can use cold compresses afterwards to reduce the swelling. Now, if you suspect a blocked duct, frequent feeding or gentle expression in the shower can help that, but always get a second opinion. Massaging towards the nipple. If you're watching the video, I'm like moving my hands and doing this. If you notice a red painful lump, if you have any signs of fever, call your doctor because you do not want to get mastitis. I thought I was dying when I had it with Gavin, and you need to be assessed, and you need to be assessed quickly. If feeding is painful after a few sessions, or baby isn't gaining weight, or your nipples are just holy hell, book a consult. Early help equals less stress and faster confidence. There is nothing like breastfeeding to get in your head and make you think that you are failing. But I promise you, even when you have your 7th baby, like I did, you can still have things and troubleshooting problems that you need an expert for. So I'm linking some vetted options in the show notes so you don't waste your time scrolling. because you never know who to trust on the internet now, do you? Coming up, household survival moves and partner scripts that can actually help you, plus the 3 red flags you must never ignore. So these are top moves for survival in the first 2 weeks. Protect your sleep, okay? These are the top moves. Protect your sleep. Limit visitors and nap when you can. Keep hydration and snacks within arm's reach, and prepare a post-birth basket where you have like a station, a recovery station with your pads, your water, your snacks, your pain medicine, your phone charger, your nipple cream, and a pillow, because that's going to save your energy and protect your healing. Partners, here's what actually helps. Here's what actually helps. You ready? Do the chores. Clean up the house, handle the visitors, refill her water, and just generally spoil her. Take diaper duty so mama can nap, and use this exact help to get help when you're still in the hospital. Can you show me the best way to hold the baby so she can rest while I feed? Show me how to swaddle the baby. Show me how to diaper the baby. Those are all things you can ask for practical assistance and get it fast. Remember, just be clear. If you need help with something, ask for it. Little wins matter. A warm compress, a hand on her shoulder, and a text message to family that says something like, "We don't want visitors," or "We're not ready for visitors." Protect the boundaries, because the boundaries protect your healing. They're not rude. They are proven. She is healing. This is okay for her to say, "I don't want to see anyone." Okay, finally, let's talk about the 3 red flags to call your provider about and the exact words to say so you get triaged quickly. Red flag number 1, heavy bleeding. If you're soaking a pad in under an hour, or passing very large clots, or notice a nasty foul smell, call your provider immediately. Hey mama, just popping in here again to remind you that you're just getting a taste of my teaching style on this podcast, but imagine having the complete system at your fingertips when you're spiraling at 2 a.m. Go from feeling anxious and fearful to completely confident. Go to labornursemama.com/CALM, calm. The cart closes soon, so don't wait. Use the code BirthQueen for $100 off. Red flag number 2 is a fever. Anything over 100.4, increasing incision pain or redness or drainage can be signs of infection for a C-section mom. You may get an infection in your vaginal area if you've had a repair. So if you start to have a fever over 100.4, early treatment matters. Please don't hesitate to get help. You paid for it. Red flag number 3 is how you are feeling, your mood and your thinking. If you're having intrusive thoughts, those are repetitive thoughts about bad things happening or hurting yourself or hurting the baby. If you find yourself just not being able to do basic tasks, or you just feel completely shut down, get help now. Postpartum psychiatric conditions are medical emergencies, and they're treatable, and there's nothing wrong with you. So please, if you need help, ask for help. This is why I love our postpartum membership called Mama Society. It's actually trying to conceive through postpartum, 2 years postpartum, because we want you guys to know you're not alone and there's nothing wrong with you if you need help. So here's the exact wording to get action when you call. "Hi, I'm insert name. I delivered on insert date, and I'm experiencing insert symptoms. I'm concerned and would like to be assessed today." Say the symptom clearly and be firm, and that specificity helps triage and get you seen faster. We'll put that script down in the show notes. Now, a few extra practical tips before we finish. Keep a simple log for feeds and diapers. Even a quick tick box on your phone helps the nurse and calms your worry. Use a pillow under your incision when you cough or laugh. If pumping, hand express a bit before the first few feeds to help with latch and comfort. Accept every stinking offer of help that involves tasks, dishes, walks, cleaning, laundry. Say yes to the help and be specific when people ask how to assist. In fact, why don't you do a daily log of what you do in a month prior to baby coming and have those lists of tasks ready? Mama, weeks 0 to 2 are messy, they're holy, and they're temporary. Your healing is not linear. Protect your rest, accept the help, and trust your gut. You are incredible. And I know it's hard. You're not failing, you're healing. So if something feels off, call your doctor. If you're struggling with a feeding, reach out to a lactation consultant. And if you're just not feeling like yourself and your mood is dark or you're having intrusive thoughts, get help. These are all things that you deserve help for. Okay, mama, make sure you hit subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment, depending on where you're watching or listening to this episode. I absolutely adore you. And I know that having support and being a part of a community will make those first 2 weeks and year so much easier. You've got this. I'm right here with you every step of the way. I adore you. You are powerful. You are a queen. You are the boss of your birth and your postpartum journey. I'm so excited. Congratulations on this new baby. And as always, I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.